Hello, and welcome to another video lesson from Zoloterra. My name is Chris, and today I'll be teaching you about warnings. So, three main kinds of warnings: written, spoken, and immediate. Let's start with written. So, these ones you're likely to see on signs. For example, the first one, and the strongest, danger. If you see a sign that says danger, usually it means something is very dangerous, and you should be very careful. Hazard and hazardous are also quite similar. You might be more likely to see these if there was some sort of chemical, biological, or nuclear danger. So this, in fact, might even be worse. If you see either of these, be very careful. Caution and warning. These are still warnings, of course, and imply some danger, but are not as strong as danger or hazard. They're very common on signs. For example, caution, wet floor, which means, of course, the floor is wet. Watch your step, don't slip. ... forbidden. So, for example, a common sign you'll see is trespassing forbidden or smoking forbidden. It means the same as no trespassing or no smoking. Don't do it. It may or may not be dangerous, but it's certainly not allowed and possibly illegal. Next on to spoken. So, we'll start with the polite ones. Are you sure that's a good idea? Yeah, we can say this if we don't want to tell someone that directly we think it's a bad idea and no, don't do it. We'll say this to be polite and respectful of their opinions, while still letting them know that it probably isn't a good idea, don't do it. Same with I wouldn't if I were you. This is essentially the same thing. It's a little bit more direct. I think some people might take offense with this for giving a very direct opinion. For example, I wouldn't do that if I were you. It's alright, it's a good warning. Some people might take some offense for being direct, but then again, English is a very polite language. We also sometimes used blah 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 blah, but I must warn you, blah 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 blah. You don't have to use must here. You can just say, but I warn you. For example, you can go to that store, but I must warn you, it's quite expensive. Which means, of course, you can go there, it's your decision, but I'm letting you know that the prices there are higher. You can also use this in a slightly different phrase. To start a sentence, you can say, I must warn you. Not I warn you, you have to use must then. I must warn you, it's a very long trip, for example. And then, of course, the direct one, don't blah blah blah. Don't swim over there, don't do that, don't do this, and so on. It's quite direct, so you would probably use this with good friends or family members. Mothers would tell their children, don't do this, don't do that. You certainly wouldn't use this with a coworker or a boss. And then, of course, immediate warnings. If we use one of these, we mean there is danger very close. So the strongest one is watch out or look out. We'd use this, for example, if there was a ball thrown straight for your head, we'd yell, watch out, look out, to let you know to duck. Be careful is a little bit less immediate. Still means there's danger, but it's not happening in less than a second, like watch or look out might be. Mind, for example, mind your step. We use this as a warning before you do something, but not incredible immediate danger. For example, if some stairs are quite steep or slippery, we might say mind your step, which means be careful while you walk down. But, for example, if they were already stepping on the stairs and about to slip, we might use watch out instead. It's a bit stronger. And finally, just for fun, I've thrown in this very special one here. For, F-O-R-E, not the same as the number 4. We use this in the game of golf. It's of course a popular game in many English-speaking countries, being invented in Scotland. And this is what you yell out before you hit the ball with your club for a long distance, a drive, as we say. It's to let other people know, downrange, that they should look out. They might be hit by a tiny white ball traveling at very high speeds. So, these are some warnings for you to use in various situations. I hope you've learned something today, and I hope to see you at Zoloterra. Take care.